What's going on, everybody? It's me, Free Game Frank, and I'm going to be talking about two possible trades going on with two stars going on in the league right now, which is Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. And I'm going to start with Blake Griffin. We all know that he's on the Pistons and is looking to be traded right now. I don't really see him fitting with any teams at all, or too many teams. He's 31, averaging about a career low of 12 points with 5 rebounds and about 4 assists, shooting 30% from the field. That's reportedly what's going to happen. The Pistons actually are pursuing trade scenarios involving him and talking about buying out his contract as well. However, he's going to be making about $38 million in 2021 this season. And there's also rumors that he could be traded to Oklahoma City Thunder because the Thunder have so many damn picks that they can literally trade for just about anybody. Well, maybe not anybody, but they can get some pretty good people with all those picks that they have. So that's possibly what's going to happen with Blake Griffin and Oklahoma City. However, they have to save about $29 million to try to get anything else. Now we're going to talk about Andre Drummond, which is way more interesting to talk about than Blake Griffin, in my opinion. Now, Andre Drummond, he's a board getter. Like, he just does a lot of it. We saw him in this season on the Cavs, putting up, like, I think one game he had like 30 points, maybe 15 or 20 rebounds. So he can really get buckets and rebounds at will. And Miami, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and the Lakers all make sense because if he's bought out by any of the Cavs, particularly given Davis, calf, and Achilles injuries, while Davis is missing like the extended time, could reshape the trade deadline. The rest of the league will more than likely be weighing on Drummond's buyout. And that shouldn't be much of a surprise given the lack of interest in him at the trade deadline last year. The Cavs got Drummond for literally pennies, and they'll only get pennies if anything for him now. And Andre Drummond is always a really good player. He's always putting up really good stats, such as about 14.5 points with 13 going on really 14 rebounds a game. He's really productive. He led the league in rebounding 4 times. But for some reason, there appears to be a lot of limited interest in him in the league, which doesn't make any sense because he's literally like the best rebounder in the league right now. Maybe someone else is grabbing more rebounds than him. Maybe Jokic or Gobert, maybe Embiid. I haven't really checked the stats on that, but other than them, he should be pretty desirable, especially since he's on not too great of a team right now. While the lack of interest, it is concerning. It's important to keep in mind that he's never played like on a really good team, and that teams that he's been playing have only been to the playoffs twice in his last 9 seasons. And if he stays with the Cavs, he's more than likely gonna miss the playoffs again, to be honest. He won't be one of the 2 best players on a championship team or anything like that, but he's definitely going to make a huge impact on the team that he's on. Even if he's not scoring a lot of points, he's going to make a really big impact by rebounding the ball a lot and things like that. He would actually fit very, very well with the Brooklyn Nets because the Brooklyn Nets quite literally have absolutely no defense. They're letting up like 120 points a game right now. So they could really use anything they could get. If they get Drummond, though, that could be considered this season, possibly. Wouldn't want to promise anything, but they would be set up pretty good for the playoffs, having a really good rebounder going into the playoffs and postseason. So that would be really good for them. Just because, like, even if the other 3 scorers on their team wouldn't perform well, which is super unlikely that none of them would perform well. We saw that he can still score the ball at a high efficiency if he can. He's just going to be under the rim, taking a lot of those shots, making them. He's just bigger, things like that. And another thing that people are wondering is if Andre Drummond would fit with the Lakers at all because of Anthony Davis, which clearly I'm pretty sure he will. We saw what they did last season with JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. But, I mean, Drummond on the Lakers could be really interesting. He wouldn't be a top player, and he might not even start, if you would say that. He might not start just because I don't think they would want too many big men, mainly down there in the paint with AD. AD is really just a scorer, so they might want to get him out of the way, which is the only reason Andre Drummond would not be starting with the Lakers. But even then, like, you cannot complain that he's coming off the bench, grabbing maybe 9 or 10 rebounds still, even if he's coming off the bench. But hey, I mean, LeBron and Anthony Davis will handle most of the scoring, and if Drummond could accept a role like that the way Dwight Howard last season, it would be a really good fit. I mean, like, they would just be really dominant in that sense of playing. So I believe that Andre Drummond would be a really good fit with that. I think that there's really nothing else with that, because he would just dominate off the bench, or even if he started, he would still be able to grab most of the rebounds, kick it back to AD, or kick it back to LeBron or Caruso or KCP if they're in the corner. And yeah, that'd be it right there. So that's me covering Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know any criticism or anything you have to say in the comments. It'd be appreciated. I'm definitely going to reply to them. I have no reason not to. And I hope you all have a really good day. Peace.